Welcome back to The Point of View. I am Crystal Holliday,
Sage and Molly.
Shakayla,
and Shariah.
and today we're going to be talking about money, power, and respect. Money, power, and respect. And we're going to get Shakayla's point of view on that first.
Well, when it comes to money, power, and respect, it's so much to be said about it. And even hearing you guys' point of view, I can't wait to get into it because there's so many different things you can talk about. And I know it sounds weird, but I can't think about that without thinking about. You remember that song, Money, Power, Respect?
Mm-hmm.
That and so I think about music, and I think about how that is just in every little part of life. Money, power, and respect. You can think about that in the household. Parents have the money, power. You gotta respect them.
Yes.
In music, I was like, what if you don't have money and power? Do you still get respect? And I was thinking about Aretha Franklin's song "Respect." And at first, I'm like, you know what? She's just saying you should respect her because she's a woman off the strength of who I am.
Yes.
But when you hear the lyrics, she's saying, "What you got, what you want, I got it," and
That's
all
right.
this. So that's power. And she's like, "I'm about to give you my money," and so it is money and power in that too. So
Yes.
I mean, it's shown in relationships, it's shown in politics, it's
Yes.
shown
Oh my goodness.
in so many different ways. A lot of people talk about respect. You gotta give respect to get it.
Mhm.
That so it's so many things to talk about with that. So I don't know. What do you guys think as far as the respect part? When people say you gotta give me respect first and then I'll give deep. Do y'all go by that, or do you automatically just respect people and then they have to lose the respect and then how does that work?
Well, I think sometimes when it comes down to respect, if you have money, a lot of times you get respect, and it do depend on who you are as well. But as far as money can make you either happy or depressed. If you have a lot of money, you're able to take care of your bills. You're able to buy the things that you need. But when you don't have the money, it's a real struggle. Bills is a struggle when you don't have money. What do you think about that, Cassie?
I actually be broke as day and be happy as ever. And you can have a whole bunch of money and be a miserable person.
And very much.
So I think, and thinking about that, I just think that money and happiness doesn't go hand in hand. But Kayla, what was your question again about? It was something about respect. You remember what it was?
When it comes to respect, people say you have to earn my respect in order for me to respect you.
Right.
Do you go by that, or do you automatically respect the person and then they have to lose your respect?
Okay, so for me, I automatically respect the person. I try to, and I can say it's easy to brush me the wrong way, so it's kind of easy to lose my respect and hard to once you lose it, it's hard to gain it back. But I definitely feel like you should always just go into a situation giving people respect up front.
Right.
Definitely.
And what is your opinion on that, Shirley?
Certain people get respect, certain ones. I do feel like there's something to be said about automatically giving older folks respect. I don't think that should be a thing, because I feel like just because you're older doesn't mean that you're wiser, and just because you're older doesn't mean that you deserve just respect off rip. But I do think that just going into regular situations, don't disrespect the person, but I do feel like respect should be earned on all grounds.
And I know we talked about the definition of respect. It was something like having regard for somebody's feelings and traditions and stuff like that. So even like you said with older people, I feel like sometimes, or any type of people, sometimes they get it mixed up and they think, oh, you disrespect me or you gotta respect me just means you gotta lie down and take whatever. That's not the
Right,
case.
no,
It's having regard for the things that really matter and being considerate, but I don't have to just take anything.
Right.
But I think when it comes down to an older person, for example, I think respect with the job that I do, a lot of older people will call in and everything, and I automatically, and this is how I was raised, to call them Miss So-and-so by their last name, unless they tell me, well, you could call me by my first name. I feel like if you're 16, you shouldn't be calling a grown person that's 50 something by their first name unless they tell you to. So that, it's a certain amount of respect. Now, as far as an older person speaking ill towards you, you know, they should respect you too. You know, so that's I definitely feel like that. And I just think that respect is a different respect. It depends on your caliber. You know.
The position you hold in
Yes.
society.
Yes. Yes.
So I think we can piggyback and talk about why is it that cops have the respect in social media and like the general public. I mean, locally we know that they are doing some trash things. We already
Yes,
know
they
that.
are. Yes, they
Which
are.
is why we having protests and Black Lives Matter and things of that nature. So why is it, do y'all think that they automatically get respect off the top?
Well, you know.
She her hand up.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So two things. I feel like for a certain population of people in our country, is respect, and for a certain population of our country is fear, and we're just calling it respect.
Yes.
I feel like I don't feel like I know that the government is the only entity that has the power to force people to do things. And it's kind of like they've extended that power to law enforcement, and to a large extent, like they're allowing police officers to like use lethal force. So it's like for a certain population, they know that lethal force is protection for them, so they're going to respect the police. And then for a certain population, they know that lethal force is for them, so they fear the police. But everybody is just calling it respect. So I think it depends on just how you look at it.
But I feel like with the police, they do not give respect at all. At all. I've actually seen, I don't remember the man's name, but they had him in like a chokehold, and he kept saying, I cannot breathe, I cannot breathe. Yes, Eric Gardner. I cannot breathe, I cannot breathe. And they killed him. Anyway, okay? And the thing is they caught this on camera, and it meant absolutely nothing. Just like with Trayvon Martin. He wasn't a cop, but the cops told this man, Zimmerman, stand down. Stop following him. Stop following him. He did it anyway, and he killed him. He set out to kill him, and he got away with it. So I'm not understanding how these people are getting away with what they're doing. Is just utter disrespect.
Yeah, because it sounds like lack of respect.
Yes.
Lack of
Yes.
respect.
But yes, they have the power. And these people, they really don't have money.
Right.
They don't have money, but
They're
they
part
have
of
the
the
power.
right institution, and the government has granted that institution to use that force and to exercise that power. So they can do so without punishment. And they do so without punishment. I'm sorry, right? But to speak to your point about Eric Gardner, and the cop that did him in the chokehold was just fired from the force.
Oh,
I think it was this week or the week prior.
He was just fired.
But either way, that's what I'm saying. This happened years ago, and we saw on camera the chokehold in the books was illegal. Like cops are not even allowed to use that chokehold. So you just got to think the government, to some extent, has to sanction this and is allowing this to go on, because if we quote it on camera, there were eyewitnesses, and in the book that said that the chokehold was illegal, he should have been fired when it happened.
A long time ago.
And there's something
And jail time.
Yeah, there's something to be said about the culture of police, period, because they look out for each other. And they do actively cover up. Like, take my profession, I'm working with the public as well, right? So we are audited. If we have a complaint, the state comes to my facility. Every year they come to our facility, make sure we document it right, make sure what we're doing is accurate. They now what they're doing, they're actually interviewing individual residents and their individual employees, making sure we're not victims of racism or anything like that. So my thing is, if I'm working with the public and I'm supposed to be a trusted individual, and somebody is coming to audit me and what I'm doing, why isn't the cops getting the same thing? They should be looking at documentation. An outside source should be looking at, okay, what you're doing, is it supposed to be correct? There was a study where in Florida, one man went to go see if he could make a complaint just make a complaint, which is just a form to fill out. And a lot of the cops would be like, well, what's the complaint? Well, you got to tell me first. And that's not true. We can make a complaint on any cop. It is just a form to fill out, but a lot of times they would not fill out the form. They want to know, who's the cop? What's the problem? Well, who are you? Give me your ID. What are you trying to do? That's not correct. Like I said, they have a lot of this, I'm going to cover up for them, and it's not right.
Power.
They try to use that power. Exactly.
They got that power,
Yeah.
and it's not fair. It's not fair.
It's not fair, but to a certain extent, like there's a difference between power and authority, and authority is like what you grant people and allow people to do, and to a certain extent, at this point, as a society, we know that the cops have too much power, and the power that they're supposed to be limited to, they often overstep those bounds, and they're not being punished for it. So at what point do we as society say, we're not going to give you the authority, we're going to say, no, we're not abiding by the police until y'all do something about what's
But then
going
you
on.
gotta think of the repercussions of saying no, we're not gonna do.
Absolutely.
You know, you wind up getting hurt, losing your life over
Having
it.
no justice after the fact.
None.
Just look at Philando Castile. He did everything
right.
the cop told him to do, and he still got shot and killed. So when people say, well, you need to be respectful, you need to listen to the cop. When the cop tell you to do something, you do it, and then this won't happen. Well, what about Philando Castile? He did everything he was supposed to do, and he still got shot. So I'm trying to figure out, what are we supposed to do now?
I think that's a perfect segue, Raya, to like the only way for you to have some sort of defense is if you have money, if you're wealthy, because then you can buy your way out of any type of illegal situation you find yourself in. You can buy your way out of it. So I feel like a lot of times money can trump the money can supersede, I like that word better, power and respect.
Yes. You're right. So right. But you know who really have the power? These corporations that you work for. Now, in a previous segment, y'all know I went to school, have a huge bill that I had to pay back, and then they have us working for 30 years. Like in my husband's case, he works for the city. They have him working all these years, and then when he retired, they only want to take care of him for 5 years. They're only going to give him medical for 5 years, dental for 5 years. So you work all your young life, your middle-aged life, till you get a little old, young old, you know, and then they don't want to take care of you 5 years after that. What is your opinion on that?
I feel like that's them using their power to get more money. They just wait till you're just old enough to get sick, and then they say, we'll take care of you for that first 5, hoping that you'll start to get sick, and then after that, just when you're at the point when something's going, a cough might be too much for you or something like that, you might be at the age where you start to get migraines or your eyes might be declining quickly, but you're gonna need something, and they're banking on you to need something. Just at this point, I can stop giving you, I can stop helping you, and I could collect extra, because now you really do need it.
Yes.
That's horrible. Because, you know, it goes in order: money, power, respect. It seems like when you have either the money or the power, it's so hard to get to that respect part, whether you're acting towards you being respected or, like, you give or get respect. It's just hard when it comes to the respect part, because people with money and power, they abuse it a lot of times. Or somebody that doesn't necessarily have as much power or money. We don't respect the people that have it because y'all being disrespectful to us, or just really, like I said, abusing it. So it's crazy.
And sometimes you can have the money and don't have no power or respect, as in like Monique. You know, it's like all of a sudden she was just blackballed because she didn't do.
So Lee Daniels wanted her to promote the Precious movie for free.
Right.
And she said, well, I was doing you a favor anyway. You only paid me $50,000 for the role. Why would I go and just like promote it for free? I'm not doing anything for free. We need to renegotiate the contract if that be the case. What he said was, okay, we're not going to do this. Well, I'm going to blackball you. And what happened was Lee Daniels ran with it. Steve Harvey ran with it. And Steve Harvey didn't even know the story. So there's something to be said about black men being against black women. But we're going to talk about that some other time. But, and then Tyler Perry as well. So she was able to be blackballed and made, and it was the narrative was she's difficult to work with, all because she didn't want to do something for free. So she had money, but she didn't have the respect and she didn't have the power, because where have you seen Monique now? Where is she now? She has a podcast, yes, but she hasn't played in any more roles. I haven't seen her doing any more stand-up comedy. Correct me if I'm wrong, y'all.
No, I haven't.
But so it's just like, so these three men were able to spin this narrative that she's difficult to work with and stop her bag, and they got karma themselves. Lee Daniels, all his shows are canceled, and Steve Harvey's shows canceled, even though he was number 4 on the network. So it's something to be said when you have money but you don't have power and respect.
But the fact that they all ganged up against her, they all are same nationality. You know, this is what I'm talking about. Crabs in the barrel, they just want to pull you down. You know, and it wasn't right for them to do that to Monique. Because personally, I liked her. I liked her stand-up comedy. I thought she was funny, hilarious, you know.
She is a legend.
And I still want to see her act. I still want to see her do stand-up comedy. You know, yes, come back.
We
come
on the
back.
Parkins.
I definitely feel like out of the three of them, Lee Daniels, Steve Harvey, and Tyler Perry, if the way Ryan told the story, if that's how it went, Steve Harvey and Tyler Perry, like, bruh, y'all gotta do better. And that's if it goes how, first of all, if that was between that man and that lady, y'all should have left that between that man and that lady. That's like saying, oh, my best friend don't like you, so I'm not gonna like you either.
Yeah, that's kind of how it was.
And it's like, we are better than that. We need to be better than that as a community. Like, we got too many people trying to hold us down. We need to be helping each other up.
That's the truth.
It just bothers me because I feel like whenever, and if we're going to talk about women and men and races, or as a black woman, it seems like when you do stand up for yourself and say, no, I'm worth more than that, we get backlash for it.
Yes.
And it can't just be the truth, because it is the truth. But for some reason, we're coming off as disrespectful to somebody else. Like, we're in charge of I'm in charge of how much worth that I'm saying that I have. You can't tell me that I'm lower than this. You know, and it shouldn't be something you take offense to.
But why should she work for free?
Right,
Who works for free?
She still got to pay bills.
You know what's funny is he was like, yeah, I'm going to pay you $50,000 for this role, as if that's a lot of money for somebody to play a role. Because you know people get paid millions to play a role.
Yes.
So he was like, yeah, I'm going to pay you $50,000.
And she's an excellent actress.
And that movie made money.
Yeah. And she was like, excuse me, Lee Daniels, I made 3 top sluts doing a couple hours of stand-up comedy, so what are you saying? I'm doing you a favor.
Right.
And I guess he got in his feelings when she said that. And Tyler Perry, at the same token, see, this goes to men disrespecting black women. Anyway, Tyler Perry gonna say, oh, I paid Taraji the most she was ever paid. And I think he only paid her like 30 or 50, something like that. And it's just like, are you proud of that? Shouldn't you pay her for what she's worth? She's hot.
Yes.
Like, what are you talking about?
I think
But let her be somebody else. Let her be somebody else.
Amy Schumer.
That's what I was saying.
She
That's
would get
exactly what I was
paid.
about to say. That's a reflection of how black women are valued in society. Probably like the lowest of the low. So it's like, I don't value you as much as the next actor of the next nationality.
But I see that in where I work at as well. You know, they elevate, if you're not of color, they elevate you. You know, it's not right. It's not right.
So do we have any last remarks?
I don't have anything. Oh, Ed. I think I said it.
I just feel like money, power, respect, you know, we all want all of them. I work hard and I want to be paid. I want power and I want respect.
And money and power is 2 things you can accomplish. Anybody can at this point. But to get respect is something that you should attain to do both ways. Get respect and give respect. That's when you're really winning.
Yes.
Exactly.
So thank y'all for tuning in to Power, Money, and Respect. Like and subscribe. I am Crystal Holliday.
See Jamali.
Shakayla.
And Shariah.
And as always, be blessed.